Alright.
Oh, God.
When you come up with
No water.
Some Creole people take it and that's your main food.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. You see me and mom here today as usual. It's our little weekly mother-daughter kind of talks that we have, and we always share it with you guys now. We don't have a name for the series yet. We'll think of one soon. But since last week not last week, but since the last video we touched on what was the right age to move out? Yes.
Yeah.
So since we touched on what was the right age to move out in the last one, this week is gonna not a follow-up, but it's a little bit of an addition to it. So it's more about finding out who you are, or steps to take in finding out who you are, basically. And this is not just for younger people or a specific demographic. This is for everybody. Because I said this to mom just a while ago, that some older people don't know where they are or who they are in life, but some younger people have already figured it out. Because in time, a lot of times people will say, oh, older people are wiser, they know more, they've been through a lot, so they can give you all the answers.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. In truth and reality, if you really think about it, some younger people can probably give you some better answers than maybe older people can give you. Older people can give you. And it's no shade towards older people or anything like that.
No, it's not.
It's just
you know, I
kinda,
respect older people.
It's just how the world is kind of changing nowadays, that we have to take into mind not only older person's views but younger person's views, and we can kind of work together to see which ones, you know, fit the answer that you want, basically. So these are not really steps, but these are things that we think you know, you can take into heart when finding out who you are truly, whether you're on your own as yet or you're at the age where you're trying to find out who you are. And even if the age pass, it annullates. You're still here, so you can still figure it out. It's never too late in my eyes. So the first one is identifying personal values. So when it says for personal values, it says that take time to identify your own values and choose a life to align with them. What are your values? What do you think personal values in your aspect?
State the question again. Get a bit carried up.
So it's not a question. So the first thing is
okay.
Identifying your personal values. Basically, what do you value for yourself? How do you value your own self? Right? What kind of things in your life that you think, you know, all right, I can tap into this. I think these are more important. I should focus on this more. These are things that I uphold myself towards. So what do you think for yourself, like personal values? What do you think people should think about when they're thinking about their own personal values?
Okay. I hope I can shed some little light or shine.
I think about your personal values,
yeah,
and then maybe kind of run from there with it. Yeah.
My personal values, I want to do it like in a little nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I respect myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do respect myself.
Number one, exactly.
I do
respecting
myself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am not sure, but as I grow older now, I want to think that I'm trying to love myself more.
Mm-hmm.
I think the younger me,
mm-hmm.
I did respect myself from as I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to love, I think after, you know, respect yourself, you're supposed to love yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as I said, I want to clarify this little part. I just want to make mention of this. Looking back,
mm-hmm.
I don't think I had loved myself enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm go for say blame that pan of body.
Yeah, no, it was just, you know, time.
I think that
things
it was
and times.
just like about experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but forever I have always respected myself.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain levels in life
mm-hmm.
that I never, as a young woman,
mm-hmm.
and as I'm getting an older woman, I will never gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Also, to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am a truthful person. You know? I like to I like challenges. Yeah, I like to challenge myself, even though sometimes you set some goals. I'm a goal setter,
Set
baby.
goals, yeah.
I'm a goal
Challenge
setter,
yourself,
and
okay.
setting goals that some goals you set, they're easily attainable or reasonably attainable.
Like short-term growth.
Yeah.
Like short-term goals,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
And then there are goals too that are challenging. So I like challenges. I like to set goals, and most of all, go-getter, I think, should be on my birth paper as my middle name. So I think I don't know. Maybe if it makes
That's
sense. But the people you can
yes,
comment
so
below.
basically what you're saying is
in a nutshell.
based off of your experiences and in your timeline, you think that the best way for people to identify their personal values, these are your things that you think people should
Yes,
think
that's
about
what I
personal
work on. Not
values.
necessarily that people
Not necessarily should do this, but these are
the
things
that
you should
I
think about.
base myself around.
Exactly.
In my
So
life.
we say respect yourself, love yourself, challenge yourself, and set goals for yourself.
Yeah, and don't be who you not are. Being a liar.
Oh, and be truthful.
Yeah, be
number 6.
truthful. Be truthful to yourself most of all. And then when but all these things, when you make them, you do
When
them
you
to
start with yourself first, you're able to do them on to others.
Yes.
Because it always says, don't treat people the way that you wouldn't want them to treat you.
And because if you respect yourself, you will
You
respect
can respect
other
others.
people.
A lot of people say,
Yeah.
respect yourself first,
And then
and you'll be able to respect
people.
others. And it's the same
Although-
thing with love.
Although
Loving
you have
yourself
some
first, you can
people,
love others.
they push you over a period of time that you literally lose respect for them. But that doesn't say you still doesn't, because when you lose respect for them, what should I say? I don't want to say professionally. When you lose respect for them, you automatically let them go.
They start to move away out of your life. They start to dwindle away out of your life.
You
lose respect for
personally
them.
start to just pulling away.
You distance
from
yourself
them.
from them, yes.
So that's-
And also, don't get respect mixed up with pride.
No.
A lot
No.
of people get that mixed up, thinking that being prideful
Yeah.
is respecting yourself.
Yeah, being too high.
Being
Yeah.
prideful
Yeah.
is not respecting
And
yourself.
thinking that you're better than people.
Exactly.
And Kimmy has this word. This is it that you classify yourself. You put yourself in a certain class to say who I'm quote unquote in this class. So therefore, I respect the people that are in the class. No, I'm talking about respecting yourself and respecting people right across the board. I am
Alright.
for that, unless it becomes that it reaches a point where, as I say, some people you get to be in accordance with them, and over a period of time you totally lose respect for them
based off
and
of something
then
that may
we will
happen or
have another sit down, and when you lose respect for people, how you go about
how you
that is
distance
gonna be
yourself
fair
from
too.
them.
Yes.
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 All right, so that would be the first one. As we said, personal values. That's what we base ourselves off of. Mostly what mom says, I do agree with that. Those are things I do base myself off of also. As the personal values or your core values, you could call them personal/core values. So those are, we think,
Yeah.
some of the personal or core values that you can think about
And
when trying to find yourself.
Might I add, when you base yourself off these things, yes, you meet upon, what should I call this word? I'm thinking about the word. You meet upon like setbacks, heartbreaks, and everything. But then, as you grow into this human being, when you reflect, this is for people, because some people don't know if they reflect back on their life. I am a reflector. I love to reflect back on.
And that was
past.
actually the next thing on this, is to reflect on your relationships.
So
that you've had.
when you base your life around those few things, maybe others added too, but for just me, when you keep reflecting back as a person, you don't have anything to be to feel up, to say, oh, if me never this, I never that, this and that, and then too you find yourself don't have anybody to blame. You have some people, everything they blame.
Then blame everybody.
They blame everything on other people. I never blame. I'm thinking about it. I never blame any setbacks for me. I've never blamed anybody for anything. As I back at it, I say, when you respect yourself so much, you don't want to blame anybody for anything. If anything to blame are yourself, you're gonna blame, you know. If another one day. And then I heard you were talking about relationships. Make sure you make it clear that we're not talking about man and woman.
No, reflecting on your relationships.
Yes, with your children,
just
with your
general,
peers, your parents, your siblings, everybody. You know, because some people think when you say relation, remember, you know,
relationships
some people,
are
as them
only
hear about
classified.
relationship, they think about a man and a woman. Remember that.
Relationships are not only classified, and that's the next thing. A lot of people don't know the difference between relationships and partners. Relationships are completely different.
Yeah.
I have a relationship with my mother.
Oh, yes.
I have a relationship with my father. I have a relationship with my brother. I have a relationship with my best friends.
So it's not necessarily mean be intimate. You're not talking.
We're not meaning to be intimate. We're just talking about people that we've had in our lives that we grow close to and that we know and that we've shared, you know, thoughts, opinions, being close to all of them type of stuff there with them. So that is how you do create a relationship with someone. But that is your next thing.
Oh, yes.
So we had said already, for core values for yourself when finding yourself, respecting yourself, loving yourself, setting goals for yourself, challenging yourself, being truthful to yourself.
Oh, yes.
And that is how you become truthful to others as well. And that is how you reciprocate these things to other people.
Yeah.
The next thing that we just said, as Mom said, to reflect. Reflecting on relationships, as she just said a while ago. Reflecting on things that have happened before. Know where you go wrong. Know where you could have fixed something.
Oh, yes.
Know where, you know, all right, maybe at the time I was pretending as if the person was wrong, but maybe I was also in the wrong as well.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't know how to take ownership for certain things
yes.
that we do. In the heat of the moment, you know, you can say something or do something and it makes a mistake. But if you can't reflect and look back and say, yo, you know what me did say never did so right. Because what she said never right, but when me add on to it never did necessary either. So 2 and 2, it not add up. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So you have to learn how to reflect back on other things also. And don't reflect on them in a negative way. Reflect on them in a way to learn from them. Because you learn from mistakes. Whether you made the mistake or whether someone made the mistake towards you. You always learn from them. All right.
Can we, at this point, I'm not sure if this is the right interval, learning not to be too cocky about yourself.
Prideful.
Learning to say, I am sorry. Don't think yourself too high,
prideful.
too above.
Prideful.
It doesn't matter.
Prideful.
If you are the boss, it doesn't matter how huge your company is. And if you think, when you reflect back, you realize, or people even bring it to your attention to say, it's your workers, but even though you are the boss, you didn't really come over good. Don't be too cocky. Don't be too prideful. I don't know if there's such a word. I couldn't even care less.
Having too much pride.
Too much pride. To say, I'm sorry. You know that.
Having too much pride.
Yeah.
Some people find it hard in them bowls to say I'm sorry. And
that is very...
One thing and two things for certain. If you see that someone is finding it too hard to apologize for something that they have done, don't beg them for it.
I'm not. No, I never
do
beg.
Do not beg anyone to apologize to you.
And because sometimes
if you realize that maybe
some people just say, all right, me sorry then. Me sorry.
But sometimes people may not say sorry in the moment. But you have to give them a leeway for that. They may not say I'm sorry in the moment. Maybe I'm just a very open and understanding person. They may not say sorry in the moment. If after a certain period of time you realize that they haven't come back to realize, you know what, maybe me do this wrong and that's the same thing I was saying earlier about reflecting. If they don't reflect on what they did and saw that they did anything wrong in any case, when you know that the two of you said stuff that weren't necessary, hurt feelings or something, if they can't come back to apologize and you have apologized already, then don't beg nobody if you apologize to you.
Yes, and that is why I brought in the part of reflecting, because actually a lot of people need to do more reflecting. If you're a person that does not reflect, well, I don't want to say stuff or anything, but I think that is a very, very, very important part of your life.
It's an important part of your growth and also finding out who you are.
Everything.
Because when you reflect,
finding out,
when you reflect on stuff, you then realize, okay, this is how I can not do this again.
Repeat that,
not,
yes.
Or not repeat this cycle or break out of this habit.
Okay.
And that is how it works when you start to reflect back on things that have happened.
And
whether you're young, old, middle age, or nearing whatever.
And then
If you can't reflect to see back as to what you did in a year time, for say, you know what, I wasted a little bit of time on this, but I pick up myself here, so I make a mistake here, so but I fix up myself. You can't reflect back to see what you have done, if you have hurt someone or if you have not hurt someone, or if you've done good things in your life,
or even hurt your own self.
or even hurt your own self. If you put yourself on the back burner, if you can't reflect to see if you put yourself on the back burner instead of putting yourself first, then I don't know if it's you're not gonna find it out.
Yeah, reflection for me. But as like people of my age, and I want to implore people of other people, younger people like you, what do you think about that? Reflecting. Are you a person that reflects a lot? Has it worked for you? How important is it for you? Yeah. Yeah, that was
All right. So along after, you know, as we said about, you know, reflection, finding yourself, core values, personal values, and next thing that we can think about is focusing on things that you like, your passions, things that you enjoy doing. I've realized a lot of times, me included myself, when we tend to like something and we say, okay, you know what, I like doing this and whatever, but because it's not making a profit,
Yes.
because it's not bringing in money, and because it's not some kind of thing where you can strategize and do this and make a big plan for it, you stuff it to the side in a one corner, and you forget about it. And then you're thinking, so what do I enjoy? What kind of passion do I have?
No, at the end of let me butt in, and then when you put that aside, you take on to something, and you know
you take on to what
you're
you
struggling
don't
with
like,
it, and you know deep within that you don't like it,
Exactly.
but you keep struggling,
But you
as
keep
opposed to go and struggle with what you like.
What you like, exactly.
Struggling with what you don't like, as you said, necessary because it brings in a little money. You want to go that extra mile and struggle with it, and deep within you don't like it. Why not turn your energy and struggle with what you like? At the end of the day, it might, you know, it will grow because you like it. Your passion is for it, so you will get into it. Yeah, and I'm saying, when I tell people on YouTube that I didn't know how I started cooking.
Because it wasn't what you liked.
Because probably the first video I uploaded, and then as I go along and you get a little views, and then you get monetized, and you know,
start to say, okay, maybe
but
this can
I
turn
told
into
them that
something.
my passion was baking and decorating, and it is to this day. I loved baking and decorating. I always see myself being that pastry store owner. I've never visualized myself to be a restaurateur. Me never visualized myself like that. I've never. You know, my passion. And then as I grow along on this journey of life, I had a few of my little tools, baking tools, as I was getting. And then life takes a turn, things up, and disaster came and everything. And then I didn't get to buy, because these things that for pastry and decorating and everything, they are very expensive, some of them. And at this point in my life, I find myself investing into cake decorating stuff. Because it was my passion. And even though I'm going to branch off and cook for so much decades, and I cook and I do this, start YouTube, my passion is for baking and decorating. My passion is to turn out beautiful bridal cakes. That's my passion. Okay? So, as I say, and I found myself pushing, struggling into cooking, which is very struggling to me right now. You know, maybe if I had gone ahead, but sometimes life, the journey of life doesn't allow you to. But I never forget my passion. And I'm prepared at this age to go into what, you know? If it is even to find myself, you know, going
another
further
thing-
myself and to even to teach younger people or to get them engaged in cake baking and decorating. Fine.
Yeah, and that goes to show another thing, as she said, with at her age now, she's saying that her passion, she still wants to invest in her passion. Let me tell you something, it is never too late
Never.
to find your passion.
No.
If you never find it yet,
Yeah,
go look for
yeah,
it now.
because some people at this
If
age
you've
are
never
still
thought about it, I do understand some people never got the chance to grow up and to find out their passions and what they like. They've always been conformed to a certain time of life.
and
But
always
it's
over
never
the place, here, there,
it's
everywhere.
never
Life
too
never-
late
Yeah.
to find out what your passion is, what you like. And honestly, I would rather struggle with my passion than struggle with something that I do not enjoy.
Yes.
I would rather struggle with my passion than struggle with something
But
I do not
sometimes
enjoy.
life happens, Cobb.
Yeah, I do get that. And for example, alright, so I can give you an example for it. What I like to do, or quote unquote what I would say is my passion, is I like doing makeup, right? That's my passion. Doing it for years. Liked it, loved it, whether it turned out good, bad, naysay, or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I growed and I learned and I invested in products, and it is my passion. But I fell off of it, and I decided that, oh, me I go take up for be an entrepreneur because I wanted to make money or learn how to make money on my own. But not thinking about the aspects of it and thinking that this isn't actually what I want to do. I don't want to have to be thinking about, alright, where the next products them are come from? Where me I go get this from? Do I have the resources for that? No. It's not what I like to do. An aspect, the only reason why I jumped into doing it is because I said, you know what, maybe I can try and make something for myself, because maybe doing the makeup I may not have the full talents for it, and I doubted myself. And that is one of the reasons why I'm kind of, yes, I'm gonna do it, and where I fell off of it.
Yeah.
It's not because I didn't enjoy it. It was just because it wasn't something that I was passionate about at all. I kept feeding myself this lie that, oh, yeah, you know, entrepreneurship is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna make teas. I'm gonna make one bag of teas. That is actually not what I'm going to do.
Look, too, when you have a passion, and it doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. That is what I'm learning now. It doesn't matter I like cake baking and decorating, and it doesn't matter how much I don't get a cake come out properly, how much I don't get
still
that
try.
icing. I am determined to do it. Hey, if I cook some rice and it gonna come out, to hell with that rice. I don't want to cook. Who cares about that rice? I don't want to cook that rice again. But I don't have the drive to correct a pot
You
of
don't
rice
have the
when
drive
never
to
come
do
out
it anymore.
good.
That's
I don't have the
understandable.
drive to take a baked chicken. I don't have the drive to do it again. But I've got the drive, like 20 million times, to go back and to resurrect a cake that did not come out good, or to resurrect something that I tried, because I'm not perfect at this stage, you know, but my passion, I have the drive. I have the drive to keep doing over and over, to correct a cake and to correct the decorating. Oh, I put this icing in this tip and I didn't understand how to move. Let me tell you something. Your passion is your passion. I don't have the drive. How do I move my hand? I know, so you move your hand. Me can't learn it. I have the passion. So your passion
is how you learn to really
yes
to also find out what feels good for you.
And it can be annoying, it can be so disheartening,
because outside of finding your passion,
you want to, and it's not happening. But can I ask, before we end this part of it, when the viewers, when you have your passion and that drive, if you go wrong every time, you're not getting through, how do you feel? How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Your passion, your drive. How do you deal with it? When, as we are saying, you have to branch off and do something where you don't even
branch off where you don't even enjoy.
You don't
because
even enjoy
it's
it.
close to it, but it's not what you want to do. But you're branching to it, and then now it may do a little something.
And as you say, it bringing out some instant.
Maybe I was being delusional before, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. This was what I wanted to do, because it's giving me results. That wasn't giving me results. So make me stick to the something where I give me results.
Yeah.
Nowadays we're too strategical in this world. We're too statistical. and I really, really don't like it. I feel like we lose sight of what we hope to do,
Oh,
or
yes.
what we can do,
Not
or
in
what
just now, long time
what we
ago.
have the urge to do, and these things. We lose the sight of that because we're moving in a world where if we don't get results, then it don't make no
And
sense.
then it comes even right back to intimate relationships, personal relationships. Some relationships that we get, we're not going to go to say, no, but some relationships, intimate relationships, I prefer say intimate relationship.
Whichever
Whatever.
Whichever one.
That we go into some, we never tell services, oh, me end up with this man here. After me, oh, me end up with a girl here. This wasn't my type of a man. This wasn't my type of girl. So you see, it's a whole lot. It's good when you can find out who you are before, you know,
before doing these things.
before
But
getting to somebody's.
if you have already gotten into it, nothing's wrong with still trying to find out who you are. Maybe there's still something you can grasp from that and hold on to and learn.
Find who you really are, and that will
Exactly.
probably help you to get yourself out of it too at some point.
And another thing, which is basically just one of the last things that I think is important for people to really touch on and understand is learning how to balance life. Life isn't easy. It will never be easy.
Oh,
and it's
it's
never
ne-
been easy.
Oh yes,
But
oh,
you
yes.
must find a balance in life. If you cannot find a balance, you'll never be able to understand your own life or your own days. If you can't, I'm not saying be the most organized person in this world. Even the most organized people in this world don't find time for themselves.
No.
But
They-
finding a balance allows you to find a balance within yourself and with others. You find a balance between work, finding a balance between relationships, family, friendships, intimate, whatever.
Yeah.
You also find a balance for yourself. So you need to have those three things put in one.
And finding a balance, does that include setting boundaries?
Setting boundaries is a little bit different.
A little more, yeah.
It's a part of balance, but setting boundaries is a little bit setting boundaries is a part of balance, but you have to know how to set the boundaries for work, set the boundaries for people, set the boundaries for yourself, so you don't kind of intertwine them too much and you get mixed up some days. So boundaries and balance is important, but more boundaries is a part of finding yourself, and which is a part of the core values. Find your own values for yourself so you can set your boundaries, so then you can balance your life.
Sometimes, let me say this, and I'm speaking from experience.
Me nah know.
I set my own standards of life.
Your boundaries.
But yeah, my own, or my living is it standards I should say? But I find that I'm not saying what were the beginning that we were talking about, knowing who you are and something. I know who I am, but then I find that when it comes to quote unquote like relatives, I went wrong there. I didn't set boundaries.
And that's the problem.
But with everything else,
I
I
learn
did
how
set
to
boundaries.
do it, and you set boundaries for yourself.
That was
how to
where I
balance it.
did not set
But you didn't set your
boundaries
boundaries.
with biological relatives.
And that's why some of
but
us get
everything
caught up,
else I set boundaries with.
That's how some of us get caught up, and
Yeah.
it's okay. It is
It's okay. It's okay.
It's normal.
It's
Nobody
I'm
is
not sure if
perfect.
it's okay. I wouldn't say it's okay, but I would say it's normal.
It's normal.
I wouldn't say it's okay.
not okay,
It's not okay for
but
me.
it is
but
normal.
It's normal because it happens
And
to
it's understandable.
a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
understandable.
don't beat. I beat up myself a lot. It's
Yeah, don't
no,
beat up yourself for
I
it.
am
It's
just
normal.
trying.
It's
I am
normal.
just trying now to not to beat up myself too much out of it, you know, because I gotten such a beating, and it's hard, but I am still trying, because as you say, it's never too old.
It's never too old.
Yeah.
But I keep telling Mama every single day, it's not too old for you
You're
to
never
start
too old.
taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
It's never too
My
old for you.
phone dropped
Yeah.
out.
It's never too old for you to take care of yourself. It's never too old for you to fix up yourself, go where you want to go. It's never too old for you to find your passion. It's never too old for you to drop something. It's never too old for you to do anything. People want to put an age limit on everything.
No.
Stop it.
Maybe
It's not-
I used to think, not with those things, but I am not I'm not sure. Oh, should I state this now? Maybe I state it in another one. But I'm saying it's not too old. I'm finding out now. I know there's never nothing too old for you. You know, but
it's all about how you envision
you are
your
never
life.
too old also to learn at the same thing.
It's all about
but
how you envision your life.
yes, you know, there are things now that I realize that I am learning, and I'm learning like so fast to set boundaries. Well, I've already set the boundaries with biological family, which is not a part of this conversation, but I'm learning at this point to set it with people.
Yeah, just
on our own.
set your boundaries in general. If you don't set your boundaries,
I'm
then
learning.
you'll never
very
know.
fast, and I'm not wasting any time in setting boundaries with people.
if you don't
Because
set
I think when you
boundaries,
can maneuver how you set your boundaries with people, you will be so much of an accomplished person.
well, yes,
I don't know. That's just for me.
that's what you
yeah. Not that you
Sometimes-
make people control your life.
Also, when I say set boundaries, some people take setting boundaries a bit too far to the point where they don't know how to let people into their life. Do not do that.
No, you don't want to reach that point. You don't want to reach that point.
That's some
Yeah.
point how I see some
Setting
people.
it, but at the same
They
time, you're
lose
open.
sight. They lose sight of the joy of things because
That's true.
They may have gotten hurt and they say,
Yeah,
"Yo,
and you want to just focus on the earth.
nah, do this
Which
no
I
more."
think has happened to
And
me.
Me nah do
Yeah.
that no more, and me done with this and that, and nobody now get too close to me for this and that. And then within that, the snap of a finger, you lose the right people,
For people
who are
that are,
supposed to be
which
in your
is
life.
and that is kind of critical to Kobe.
Well, yes.
Yeah, for I don't know, maybe for you the mindset it's easy for with your mindset that you have.
Not really. Sometimes you have to force yourself to do it, and that's okay. Not force yourself, but you have to put yourself in that mindset of learning that not everybody that's coming in your life is going to be.
And
the
then
worst
at this
person
point you
in
have
this
to
world.
learn to let anger out of you. Can't
Yes,
let anger
which
stay
is
in
why
it.
you need to have your boundaries. If people can't respect your boundaries, then that is
Well,
just
that's
it.
fine. That's
And that's
fine.
okay.
That's,
You left them.
Yeah,
And
for
that
me, if I don't care if people wanna respect my boundary.
Well,
I never cared.
if them not respect you,
Yeah,
so
because if you
can't force nobody to respect your boundaries. Them if them not want to near you, that's okay.
you know, it's just so much. It's just, but I mean, knowing who you are, know what you want to stand up for during your lifetime. You can look back and you can say, okay, I have never like put myself. I've never like guided in myself into this type of way. Instead of being that person, anything come me circle with it.
Yeah, no,
You know,
don't.
I
It's
don't do that,
It's a
no.
whole different conversation
No.
and learning that it's not the first thing when you get in there and you have to stick with.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying. Knowing who you are, trying to find out. Because as me say, somehow we get into close things and just get thrown out in the world and we don't even know. You know, okay, you find yourself. Life is hard. Life is rough.
Life is hard and
and
it's
you
rough,
can say, okay, I'm just starting.
but
out,
you're not meant to
I
do it.
cannot able to. I'm not able at this point to buy a bottle of oil, but I'm able at this point to go get a bag with some oil in there. But I'm just using this as a reference. But you don't want to stay. You have to push yourself.
And that's the same thing. It goes back to the starting
And then
of the
sometimes
video.
people say, hang your
challenging
hat.
yourself.
Don't hang your hat higher than where you can reach it. Hey, sometimes we got to do a little stretching too in life. Not true. You don't want to be that person on one level of your life every
To be clear, with the whole hanging your
time.
hat higher than where you're supposed to reach it, sometimes it's not that far that you need to reach it. You just need to tip up on your toes. And
That's why I
take it
said
out.
sometimes you got to need to do a little stretching. I think this conversation may be a little bit all over the place, but
Not really.
people will understand.
Not really. It blends into all of the things that we said at the start,
At the
which is
start
about
of it,
finding
yes.
your core
And I
values
just
for
said,
yourself.
It's not, when I say not hang your hat, sometimes it's not much of a stretching.
It's not
I just
much
said.
of a
That's why I
stretch.
said sometimes you have to learn a little stretching. It's good for you.
Yeah, for
It motivates you. It opens up your brain. you know. And you could tell us, oh Lord, me going to the shop every day to buy a little oil, and then you just tell yourself one day, I'm going to buy a bottle of oil that will serve me 2-3 months. Then when you make that,
if you think
when you
about
do
that
that, when
now,
you do it now,
you don't
you say
need
to yourself,
to worry about
hey,
buying a bag of
after
oil
all,
every
it wasn't
day.
so bad when I did make that sacrifice. It wasn't so bad. You know, you use those like a stepping stones, and you tell yourself that, you know, you don't want to stay on this journey of life. You don't want to stay upon, and you keep saying, oh, I can't make it and I can't do it. You get that, I can't make it, I can't do it, that little feeling.
The negative,
you know?
not saying that negative won't come to you.
They always
Negative
are
will
ever there.
always
It
come
doesn't
to you,
matter.
but you don't allow it to settle within you as a person.
Because sometimes it comes to you and it gets you down sometimes,
Yeah.
to be honest. But sometimes there comes a point when you got to get up and you got to just do a little brushing off and just shaking off.
And sometimes I feel like some of us I have to accept you'll be down. You'll have down days.
Oh,
You'll
they
feel
down
bad.
days for anybody, whether you're a single person,
You have to
a
accept
family
it.
person,
Yeah.
a rich person,
You are-
nothing
you're not
person.
perfect.
Those days were there from original. They are here and they will forever be there. It is how you pull through these
It's so
down days.
exactly, which is why it's
You know?
important to find yourself and to know
Yes.
your values.
Oh,
Yeah, guys, as we said before, it falls back on the first set of things that we had said about your core values, balance. All of the things we said after finding out the core values, all of the other things such as, you know, reflection and finding out what you like, finding your passion, what feels good, what you like, what feels good for you, and balance. It all falls back underneath knowing your core values and who you are. And that is some of the things that we think, you know, is important to find in yourself. We are, as you can see, very big age difference. Me younger, mommy's older. But
Everybody
we're
do
still-
a older.
Come here, nerves, man. Come here, nerves. Me, I get me now, my senior sitting here, see years. I'm still gray here with you. Anyways, so, but at the end of the day, it still shows that no matter the age, you can still grow and you can still find out new things about yourself that you accept in your life and know how to balance them within your life. Because me there here now, I'm just learning things, turning different ages. I'm learning all new things every day, and sometimes it's a lot to take in, but I have to slow down and go back to the core values of who I am. And it's the same thing for mom too. Every day she wake up, she learns something new about
Every day I
herself.
wake up, I'm hungry.
That too. That too.
I am so hungry with
That
this
too.
video.
So every day you wake up, you learn new things, but it's important to always formulate them back to your core values, and
Yeah.
that is how you'll know if they are for you or
And
if
to
they are
stand
not for you.
on what you believe
And to
in.
stand on business.
Stand, yeah. What stand and what you believe in as an individual, not what people tell you that you are to do.
What you're supposed to do. Nobody
Yeah,
can tell you.
no,
what
you
have
don't
to know
let
yourself.
people tell you. You know.
Yeah. So that's our video for today, guys. You know, just like a motivational, but also experience within it, and
we
giving
want to
you
get your feedback in the
on it.
comment
As always,
section.
you guys are always
With,
very
yes,
responsive.
very
we-
decent,
yes,
pretty
and
decent.
we always appreciate
And we
it.
appreciate
really
that
do, we
so
really do.
much,
because
yeah.
it shows that you're listening.
Yeah.
You enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
and we really appreciate
you
yeah.
like it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Mom's gonna eat something,
Yeah.
and me I go back to a minute I do. All right, bye guys.